This is our computer in storage. It's a Dell Vostro 220. It has a 4-port serial board that we put in the back of it. It also has 2 USB to serial cables. We've got one there as a spare, and also has an onboard COM port, and that's what that one there is plugged into. It's also got a lot of spare USB drives in the front here that we can use for cabling at a later date if we need to. It's basically just a data logger, provides raw processing power, mainly because that's what we thought we needed rather than actual data storage in terms of hard disk size. This is our monitor. The monitor's always turned off unless we're using the computer up here. This is our renamer utility, and you see we've got 6 instances running there in the window, and we rename these files each day. If you also look in, we're starting to get some readings on our NIS reader. So that means there's an animal in the test station getting its head read, and you just heard it pulling her out then. It's just pulled out. It's probably my voice that's upset him, but that was reading his tags and writing that data to file. So I've just opened up the data file here now, and you can see where the tag here was getting read just now. There's a red there again, so he's come in just about here maybe. It didn't read, he might have just been hovering close. Head's in the feeder, head's out of the feeder. When the system's in full operation, we're going to have 6 versions of WinWedge operating. This is the WinWedge shortcut here. It's a program that reads input from serial devices, and you can manipulate that data and do a lot of things with it. So what we're doing with it is recording the data from the NIS readers here, bin 1, 2, 3, from the bins themselves, bin 1, 2 and 3, and then writing that data to disk. That data gets written to disk into this program, into this folder here, in data, and these are our data files. Separate files here that record the bin weights and the RFID numbers. So we copy that data each day and transfer it to a separate computer where all the data analysis is done.